Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankees on the back track, 26.
So for the purpose of the flight today, whenever we first take off the ground, I'm going to probably need to move this control stick about that much. So just try not to block that area. You're fine right there.
Okay.
And after we get off the ground a little bit, I'm going to have to reach down and lower this lever. This is called flaps. So I have one notch of flaps on to take this plane off the ground. Once we get off the ground safely, I lower it down and continue to climb up. Generally, when you start taking a plane off the ground is the bumpiest time of the flight, meaning the plane might start doing a little bit of this stuff. That's normal. That's just caused by the sun. The sun heats up the air and causes some rough air. The higher we get, the smoother it's going to get. Once we get safely away from the airport and nicely level, I'll start talking you through how to take the control stick and fly in it, okay? Okay, so if you're ready, I'm ready. I'm just looking around, everything looks good, no other pilots in the area that's a threat to us. Waiting for my engine temperature to come up 2 more degrees.
Where's the engine?
Their temperature's right there, 68. I want it at 70.
Okay.
There's all kinds of stuff here. There's my left fuel tank, there's my right fuel tank. There we go.
Edenvale traffic, KZB's turning left downwind, runway 31.
So that's that guy right in front of us up in the air. Okay, if you're ready, I'm ready.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankees on the roll 26 with a right turnout towards with Sega Beach climbing to 2000.
Right now I'm just full power on this thing and just pulling this nose up just a touch. See that? So there's the cool air coming in.
Yeah.
Safely off the ground. I'm going to reduce these flaps. Don't need those anymore. So what I'm watching when I'm taking off is I'm watching how fast this plane is going. I don't want it to go any slower than the speed of 60. So the way I do that, if it starts going too slow, I push the nose forward so we don't climb as fast. See how it's starting to go faster?
Yeah.
But I also don't want it to go too fast, so now I'm going to pull back on it. So I control the speed by where I pull this stick. So, I'll give you the option when we get a few hundred feet higher. Right now we are 1,000 feet over the ground. Give you the option of what direction you want to go. Actually, that's looking pretty foggy over there.
Approaching altitude.
Edenvale traffic, KZB's final runway 31.
Right now we're at 2,000 feet above sea level. If you look off to the right there, you'll see a bunch of guys coming down on parachutes. See them right over there in the cloud? That white cloud?
Oh, yeah. Oh, are those the guys that were like shooting the commercial?
Yeah. That was pretty quick. How are you so far with it? No problem with the heights?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee departing your zone to the northwest at 2,000 feet en route to Collingwood.
what I'll do is I'll get the plane out to where the water starts, and we'll pick a direction, and I'll start showing you how to control this thing.
Okay.
So those little bumps we're feeling, that's just the hot air coming up and tapping the belly of the plane and pushing us up.
Oh.
Sometimes they get pretty violent like that. So do you want to go check out Blue Mountain that way, or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, so now that we're safely over here at the shoreline, I'll start showing you how to fly this thing. So why don't you take your left hand and put it on that one right there, put it on that control stick, and just be gentle on the stick. Try not to grab it too tight. If you grab it too tight...
Collingwood traffic, Golf Uniform Bravo Bravo, turning downwind for runway 31, stop and go.
I find that if you're squeezing it too tight, you're going to overreact and start moving it around too much. So I'm going to show you what it takes to control this aircraft. I'm just going to make one radio announcement right now, let other pilots know that we're in the area so they avoid us.
And Collingwood area traffic, SportStar India Juliet Kilo Yankee is just north of the airport over the shoreline, heading westbound towards Blue Mountain at 2,000 feet.
All right, so you could probably feel on the control stick that it's barely moving at all. If I want to take this plane and start turning it that way, I'm just going to take this stick,
Collingwood Midland area traffic,
pull it a little bit like that.
Lima is currently half a mile offshore Wyvale, 800 feet will be at 1,000 and below, heading up along the shore towards Midland, Christian Island.
See how it's doing that turn?
Yeah.
If I want to stop the turn, we just take the stick and pull it back like that. Now to take this plane and turn it left, we just go like this.
Kilo Echo Lima, this is Yankee Charlie Sierra. We're just over the town of Edenvale at 2,700 feet, heading towards the shoreline. We're going to proceed back towards Collingwood.
And turn it right, just a little push like that.
Your altitude.
Yankee Charlie, keep up, Kilo Echo Lima.
If I want to take this plane and go higher,
Altitude.
I'm going to put these wings level again. All we have to do is take this control stick and just pull it back towards us a little bit like that. You can see the nose coming up. You can tell that we're going up now. And if I want to level it off, I just kind of push forward a little bit. And if I want to go down, I take this and just push it like this towards the ground a little bit. Just takes little pushes back and forth. And now we're descending, we're starting to go down.
Traffic,
You can almost hear the engine speeding up. Everything's getting louder as we go down. So we'll take this and level it off
Altitude.
and let you try moving it around. I'm going to keep my hand close by, but feel free to take that control stick and move it around a little bit. Sort of like a computer simulator, right? Just playing with it. That's it.
It takes like nothing to move it.
Got that right. So right now, I can tell you're going down just a little bit. That's fine. What we watch when we're flying is this guy right here, our altimeter. So see, you're on 2,000 now, and it's going a little higher now. So that means you're climbing. Now your climb has stopped because it's paused. Now you're going to start descending. See that? It's going down. So that's where it takes some practice to get used to flying level. It's tough to do, right? You gotta just get the feel for it.
Charlie Sierra is currently over Tiny Marsh at 2,900 feet. We're going to be making a left-hand turn shortly to follow the shoreline over the water back towards Collingwood.
How's that feeling so far?
Good.
So all those little bumps, you're not doing that. That's just what's happening to us outside.
Leaving altitude.
Pretty touchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is Collingwood right down here.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Uniform Bravo, rolling on runway 31 for the circuit.
Think you're getting used to it now?
Yeah.
You have any questions for me?
No.
No, not yet.
But are the pedals only for when you're on the ground?
No, we use them in the air. What the pedals do is it controls the direction that the tail is. So if we feel that the tail is kind of swinging that way a little bit, we kind of push on the pedals a bit. If I do that, you'll feel the nose of the plane moving. Watch, I'll go right, see that?
Yeah.
Left, right, left. I'm swinging the plane like this. We use that to correct when the winds get very strong. We also use it to help make our turns safer. So I'm just going to push the nose forward because we're getting a little bit slow there. Okay. There we go. Try to turn the plane and let's go towards the water here, like sort of follow the beach here.
Traffic, Golf Uniform Bravo, turning downwind for runway 31, full stop.
There's certainly nothing wrong with being over top of the land, but the only problem that you're going to have on a day like today is when we're over top of the land, the air is bumpier.
Yeah.
Right now we're climbing and climbing and climbing. There you go. Now we're at 2,400 feet above sea level.
Collingwood traffic, Whiskey Oscar.
That's fine, we can be up here.
What's like the max that you...
13,500. Very high. We wouldn't even be able to go up there today because the visibility, look how foggy it looks.
Yeah.
If we went up there, we wouldn't see the ground anymore. And you have to fly this thing where you can still see things.
Aircraft in the circuit, Collingwood, how far are you away from turning final?
We're about to turn base.
Okay, we'll let you come in and then we'll go behind you.
Thank you.
Getting a little bit windy up here. You can kind of feel the wind pushing us around.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Uniform Bravo, turning base for runway 31, full stop.
Hey, you're doing pretty good on this thing.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Uniform Bravo, turning final for runway 31.
As you can see, we get places pretty fast in an airplane. We're already at Blue Mountain here.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Yankee Charlie Sierra. We're currently 4.5 nautical miles to the northeast of the field, descending through 2,300 feet. Planning on crossing overhead to join a mid-left downwind for runway 31, full stop.
Any spot you want to kind of fly over and look at?
No, not really.
Any maneuver you want to try to do with the plane?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, some people want to do full turns all the way around, do like whatever you want, right? Just let me know what you want to do and I can talk you through it.
Alright.
The only thing we can't do is we can't do stunts. Okay? Not licensed for that stuff.
So what's that? Like backflips and like...
Yeah, we can't do any of that stuff. Okay.
Collingwood traffic, Yankee Charlie Sierra is just coming over the shoreline in Highway 26, currently 2 nautical miles to the northeast of the field, descending through 2,000 feet for circuit altitude, planning on crossing overhead for a mid-downwind 31.
I can't do it, but there is some places out there that you can go to, and they call it aerobatic flying.
Okay.
Quite expensive, but fun, if you're into that kind of thing. You fly the plane upside down, stuff like that, right? No, I just teach people how to fly, not to teach them how to do the crazy stuff.
Highway traffic, Whiskey Oscar is bound tracking 3-1. Collingwood traffic, Yankee Charlie Sierra is just getting ready to cross overhead the field, and we have the backtracking traffic in sight.
How much is this in like kilometers per hour?
That would be around 160.
So knots to like kilometers per hour is like 2 times?
Almost.
Hello, traffic. Golf Uniform Bravo Bravo, down and clear.
Yeah, we can get places pretty quick in a plane.
Yeah.
Approaching altitude.
So the only reason why it spoke is because I put that little blue thing there on the 2000. So whenever you get close to it, the computer will tell you that you're getting close to it.
Collingwood traffic, Yankee Charlie Sierra is turning downwind, runway 31, full stop.
Leaving altitude.
So when you get 100 feet away from that blue thing, it'll tell you that you're leaving the altitude.
Does autopilot just like go in a straight line?
It'll go in a straight line or to a destination you set it to.
Leaving altitude.
So this plane has full GPS in it. So right now you're pulling up quite hard there. Watch out, we're slowing down. So push the nose forward. There you go.
Collingwood traffic, Yankee
If I
Charlie Sierra
tell the
is descending
computer
downwind,
what
backtracking
airport we
traffic.
want to go to, like say we wanted to go to Toronto,
Approaching altitude.
I tell it that, push the button, it will turn and start flying us towards Toronto. Okay. All the pilot has to do is maintain all, like look at the gauges, make sure everything's
Leaving
correct,
altitude.
and be responsible for the throttle, how much gas you need.
Collingwood traffic, Yankee Charlie Sierra is turning a long base over the town of Stayner, runway 31 for a full stop.
Approaching altitude.
Tough to keep that altitude where you want it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Yankee Charlie Sierra, we're not going to be long here, so don't worry about spending too much more, thanks.
So why don't we take this thing and do a right turn this way, and we'll turn all the way around in the other
Collingwood
direction.
traffic, Yankee Charlie Sierra is turning 5,
That's it.
31, full stop.
The hardest thing to do in the turn is not climb or descend. But you're doing quite well. Not bad. Not bad at all. It gets hard here because you don't see the ground anymore. All you see is the water.
Yeah.
Really good. Look at that. You maintain your altitude pretty close.
Leaving altitude.
The traffic with the Oscar is rolling, 31 will be right turn out. Nice go next.
Yeah, Yeah, so we'll fly back, we'll follow the coast in this direction, we'll maybe fly over Wasaga Beach, and we can start going out towards Midland.
Collingwood traffic, M50 Kilo Echo Lima is currently half a mile offshore, Wydale, climbing through 1,300 for 2,200, heading for Collingwood.
All right, so let's take this plane and let's start climbing up a little bit. We're going to bring this thing up to 2,600 feet, but don't go too steep or we're going to slow down too much. I'm going to start adding a little bit of power to help us climb. I just want to avoid the other guy that's flying around up here. He's going to be going to the same altitude we were at, 2,200. So I'll just put us up on top of him. Very good. Very touchy, isn't it? Yeah. But I think you're getting the hang of it.
Approaching altitude.
There we are. And we'll just level it off up here. I'm just going to make a radio announcement, let everybody know where we are.
And Collingwood area traffic, SportStar India Juliet Kilo Yankees just north of Blue Mountain over the shoreline, heading eastbound at 2,600 feet en route to Edenvale.
Is the other planes that are flying?
No, those are airports.
Oh.
So that one right there is Collingwood Airport, which is over there. Edenvale's directly in front of us. They're still climbing up a little bit. That's fine, but just want you to know that you are. Yeah, see how we got a bit higher and see how foggy it looks when you're looking at the ground?
Yeah.
That's just because of the type of weather it is today. It's so humid. So right now the wind is actually going this way with us, so it's pushing us.
Oh, that's why we're going so fast.
Yeah, this is like the airspeed is one thing. On the ground, we're doing 102 because we're being pushed by the wind. But the speed that the air is going over top of the wing is the same. It's like 80. Yeah, we're doing about 100 kilometers an hour, close to, on the ground.
Collingwood traffic, M50 Kilo Echo Lima is currently at 1,500, just off of Woodland Beach. I'm inbound for Collingwood. Collingwood is under the air, northbound along the shore. What's your current position?
If you're looking for Whiskey Oscar, we're actually well out over the water, probably 5 to the north of Collingwood now.
Going direct Collingwood to make sure no conflict, Kilo Echo Lima.
Approaching altitude.
There we go. So let's just keep us out towards the water a little bit. I don't want to get too close to Collingwood Airport because there's a lot of planes flying there. I don't know if you can see the airport right there, that long landing strip.
Oh yeah.
And we got to stay up. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, you have pretty good control of this thing. I'm just going to make one more radio announcement here.
And Collingwood area traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee, just north of the field over the shoreline, traveling eastbound on Route 2 with Sega Beach at 2,700 feet.
How close those clouds are to us.
Yeah. It's hard to tell where the shoreline is.
It is. You're doing well. What we'll do is, I just want to wait till that other plane passes us because he's on his way from over there and he's coming to this airport. So he should probably fly underneath us anytime soon. Once he clears out of our way. Yeah, you're following the shore perfectly, actually. I don't know if you can see off in the distance, right in front of us, straight out there. You could almost see Edenvale's runway.
Oh, like right there?
Yep. Yeah, you're starting to go down again. Great. There you go. So right up there where you see all that sand, that's Wasaga Beach.
Collingwood Unicom, Golf Hotel Yankee Whiskey.
Collingwood Unicom, go ahead.
Could I get an airport advisory, please?
Sure, altimeter setting at the field 2995. Winds from the west right now at 7 knots, gusting 17. And active runway is 31.
2995, Hotel Yankee Whiskey.
I think I can see that plane that's coming in. It's really hard to see. In that direction, over top of the water.
Oh, I see it.
See a little speck?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tough to see. The one thing a pilot always has to do is you're always scanning with your eyes looking for other planes.
Leaving altitude. Approaching altitude.
Nice correction.
Collingwood Unicom, extra Kilo 7 miles to the south at 2800. We'll descend for an overhead entry and join a mid-downwind 31.
What do you think about how hard it is to control this thing?
I think like one is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Collingwood traffic, Golf to the Delta Golf, holding.
And where it starts getting difficult is, you know, learning the takeoff and landing and all that type of stuff. And then learning all the laws and the rules and regulations and how to talk on the radio and stuff like that, right?
Collingwood traffic, Golf to the Delta Golf, backtracking to take position on runway 31.
Eventually, you know, a pilot has to get really good at understanding maps, understanding where they are when they're flying around, because we're not allowed to rely on GPS. We have to do it all old school.
Why is that? Why can't you like GPS?
Because if it fails, you have to know how to do it basically and grab the paper map from the back and look at it and understand where you are. You know, technology's great, but when it goes down, you're kind of messed up, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they want to make sure all pilots know how to do be as safe as possible. Wow, I can't get over how foggy it is from the humidity. Normally we can see very far. You can see Perry Sound from here, but today you can't see anything. I'll make one more radio announcement here.
Midland area traffic. Juliet Kilo Yankees just over the mouth of the Nottawasaga River, traveling northeast bound along the shoreline at 2,700 feet.
Collingwood traffic, Mike Xstream Sport Aviation, this is Fastwell overflight of button 31 for turnaround procedure, join mid-downwind 31 Collingwood. Collingwood traffic, February Golf Hotel Yankee Whiskey, just over north end, Wasaga Beach, 3,300. We are westbound. We'll be turning southbound following the shoreline, and we'll maintain 3,000 feet. Hotel Yankee Whiskey. Collingwood traffic, Amphib Kilo Echo Lima is currently at 2,200, 4 miles north of the field, orbiting over the water until the other aircraft inbound is out of the way. Architecture Kilo is overhead and will descend for a turnaround and join the downwind 31 Collingwood.
What is this airport?
That is Midland Airport.
Architecture Kilo is returning over the field to join the mid-downwind 31 Collingwood. Note the traffic on the runway.
Yeah, your turns are really nice. Nice and smooth. You're not doing anything too drastic. A lot of people, the first time they take the control stick, they oversteer things, and it makes the flight really rough.
Approaching altitude.
I don't know if you can tell, but there's a real strong wind pushing us this way. The way you can tell is if you pick something in the distance, like look at an object, a white house or something, try to fly straight towards it and you'll notice we keep going sideways.
200 cross overhead, join mid left downwind 31, full stop.
The way we get rid of that, I'll show you now, is you can put your 2 feet on those pedals. So the way we get rid of that, so the plane stops drifting this way, we just push a little bit of this foot down, the left foot, just a touch. See how it turns the nose that way? Now we're flying through the air crooked. We call that crabbing, but eventually we will still reach the destination without drifting too far. You just add more and more rudder to arrest that drift.
Wasaga Collingwood Edenvale area traffic skydive 15,000 feet over the Wasaga Beach. We'll be doing pair drop over the baseball diamond. Do not fly 12,000 and below. Wasaga Edenvale Collingwood traffic.
Collingwood traffic, Golf to the South Golf, Aerodorme, off the runway 31, moving, climbing up to circle altitude, making a left-hand departure Heading west towards Eugenia, climbing to 4,500. That's Gulf to the Delta Golf, Collingwood traffic.
So right off to this side, you'll see right there is Midland Airport. That long strip there in the middle of the forest.
Collingwood traffic, Piper Warrior Golf Hotel Yankee Whiskey is 6 miles to the northeast out of 3,000. And across over the midfield to the left, downwind for 3-1. Estimating the field minutes, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Hotel Yankee Whiskey. Collingwood traffic, M5 Kilo Echo Lima, crossing overhead the field to join mid-left downwind 3-1, full stop.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Collingwood traffic, Gulf to the Delta Golf, making left-hand departure as circuits heading westbound towards Eugenia Lake, climbing to 4,500. That's Gulf to the Delta Golf, Collingwood traffic.
So let's take this thing and let's turn us all the way around in that direction. You can do a turn whatever way you feel like doing. That's good. You looked out for other planes. Nice. Normally I have to tell my students to get their eyes out of the cockpit and look for traffic.
Collingwood traffic, M5 Kilo Echo Lima, joining mid-left downwind 3-1, full stop.
Wow, that's a nice turn, man. That is a sweet turn. Lost a touch of altitude right at the end.
Altitude.
Other than that, it was perfect. Good for you.
Approaching altitude.
So if you had to guess where Edenvale Airport is, where would you think?
Collingwood traffic, Golf Hotel Yankee.
You're pretty close, yeah.
Shoreline 1800.
In that direction.
Crossing over the midfield for the left downwind.
We'll start heading in that area, and then we'll fly over land, and we'll kind of navigate our way back to the airport.
So I can just go over land now, I don't have to stay.
Yeah, you can go over land now, but it's going to get a little bit bumpier over land, but just be ready for that.
Okay.
And you're right, it's going to be in that direction.
Field advisory.
Collingwood traffic, M5 Kilo Echo Lima, turning left base 3-1, full stop.
But notice how smooth it was when we were over top of the water. You'll notice the difference as we start crossing land.
Last aircraft calling was up for Collingwood uniform.
Euronia, Unicom.
Aircraft calling Midland Unicom, go ahead.
Bravo Evektor Cessna 172 is currently 10 nautical miles to the south of the airfield, 3,500 feet, becoming full stop for airfield advisor.
Is CNA 3 the
wind currently 240 degrees.
That's Barry.
Oh.
We gotta go that way.
Favoring runway 16, but their winds are variable and gradually favoring 34. Anyway,
really
there's
high.
no reported.
There it is right there, CNV8.
Roger, Bravo Victor, thank you.
Collingwood traffic, M5 Kilo Lima, turning final 3-1, full stop. Collingwood traffic, Hotel Yankee Whiskey over the midfield, 1700 to the left downwind 3-1.
That water?
It is. Yeah, it's a big swamp. It's called the Tiny Marsh. Conservation area.
Collingwood traffic, Golf Hotel Yankee Whiskey is left downwind 3-1, number 2 with traffic.
Altitude.
Wasaka, Edenvale, Collingwood traffic, Skydive 1 is currently A few miles long east of Edenvale Airport at 8,500 climbing. And do not overfly, the baseball diamond pair job will be 12,000 below. Wasaka, Edenvale, Collingwood traffic.
So they're going up right now and bringing skydivers up in the sky over there to drop them again.
Oh, is it the same people?
Yeah. Well, the same skydive operation. Yeah. They might be doing the commercial again.
Approaching altitude.
Collingwood traffic, Hotel Yankee Whiskey, left base 31.
So what a pilot has to learn is we have to learn the areas they do that skydiving and never fly near them. So I know where it is, it's over there, so there's an area we just can't fly into. There's a guy right up there, see that?
Oh yeah, that them.
I don't think so.
Collingwood
That a helicopter?
Hotel Yankee Whiskey on file.
No, it's an airplane.
Hotel Yankee Whiskey.
I don't think that's them.
No, that's not, but he's descending quick. There we go, he stopped. I was just ready to talk on the radio to let him know we were here, and then he disappeared. Yeah, the last time the skydive guy spoke on the radio, he was at 8,000 feet. So he's quite a ways up there.
Here it is. Midland area traffic, Golf Bravo Victor, Cessna 172, currently 5 nautical miles to the south of the airfield. I'll be crossing over 2,200 feet to descend and cross over to join mid-left downwind 1 rate 34. Midland area traffic, please advise me conflicts. Skydive Wasaka, Unicom, Skydive 1, am I clear to drop? Clear to drop, thank you.
So they will be dropping their guys in a second here. You might be able to start seeing in front of us Edenvale Airport. It's right past that big forest. Got cross runways, so it kind of looks directly in front of us.
Is it like near that big gap?
Yep. Yeah, it's like a big forest and then there's a little gap past it.
Yeah.
Bravo Echo Victor is crossing over the airfield from the southwest, 2.3 to descend to circuit altitude, cross over to join mid-left downwind, runway 34, please advise me conflict, Midland area traffic. Wasaka, Collingwood, Edenvale traffic, Skydive 1 minute to drop, do not fly the baseball diamond, 12,000 below, 1 minute to drop, Skydive 1.
So there's the baseball diamond right down there. I don't know if you can see that big park in the middle of the field there.
Oh yeah, I think so.
That's where they're going to be dropping those guys. So let's stay a little bit over here.
All right.
Last thing we want to do is hit a skydiver.
What airport is this?
That is Cookstown.
Altitude on the upwind side. Just cross over, join left downwind, runway 34, full stop.
So what we're going to start to do is we're going to start lowering this plane down. But first off, we're going to do a turn all the way around in this direction, face back at the airport, and then we'll do a descent.
Okay. Do I do the turn now?
Yeah, sure, you can start doing the turn. You can just do a nice gentle turn.
27 Sierra, 10 miles southeast, 2,000 feet, inbound for landing runway 31, Collingwood. The traffic is probably downwind runway 34.
Pretty cool looking at the side when you're turning, huh?
Yeah, you can see.
Right now your speed's getting a little bit slow, so we just push the stick forward a bit. That's it. All right, we're just going to point right back towards Edenvale, and we're going to allow the plane to come down to 1,700 feet. So we're just going to let that stick come forward. Then we're going to gradually descend down in the direction of the airport. That's it.
Oh, I see it.
And Edenvale traffic, SportStar India Juliet Kilo Yankees, 5 miles northeast of the field at 2,500. Descending to circuit height, going to fly overhead the field and join and mid left downwind, 3-1.
Open the way, do not apply the baseball time.
So what we're going to do is we're going to fly straight over top of the middle of the airport.
Okay. We don't land yet, we just go over.
That's right. We have to enter a procedure called the circuit. It's almost like entering a little imaginary highway in the air. It does like a box around the airport.
Okay.
I'll talk you through a bit of it, and then I'll have to take control because it's going to get a little crazy in there.
Edenvale traffic, Kilo Zulu Bravo,
Kilo Zulu Bravo, this is Juliet Kilo Yankee. Are you still using 3-1?
Yeah, affirmative. It's now like showing 270, 320 at 8.
Great, thanks.
So there's the altitude we want. Let's maintain this. It looks a little bit different when you're closer to the ground, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I'll let you try a turn out here. Try doing another turn all the way around. I want you to see what it's like when we're closer to the ground when you're doing a turn.
Okay. Go 360?
Yep.
And Edenvale traffic, KCV's on the backtrack 3-1.
Yeah, your perception's a bit different.
Yeah.
Your turns are really, really good. Nice and steep. Getting a little steep, so just pull it back a little there, right around there. If we get too steep, the plane can get into a very tight turn, which they call a spiral, and you'll eventually go really tight and it'll start spinning.
Oh.
So you don't want it to go too tight. There we go. There's another guy on the runway. Let's do another turn. We have to give him time to take off.
Okay.
Might as well practice those awesome turns. Right there, that's pretty steep. Sorry, I had to correct you there. You gotta look forward when you're doing the turn and see how sharp you're turning. Because you almost had us right sideways there.
Edenvale traffic, Skyline 15,000, 3 miles long on the field. We overfly the field, John, and left downwind, runway 31.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankees, 1 mile north of the field. Going to cross overhead the field and join him in left downwind, 3-1.
Skyline 1, looking for traffic.
All right, so let's just fly right over top of the field. Awesome. We're just going to keep going right in this direction. This is where we get a chance to inspect the runway, make sure that there's nobody on it. There is one guy there. He's getting ready to take off.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee is overhead the field to join a mid-left downwind. 3-1.
Alright, so
And Edenvale traffic, Skyline 1 is about 3 miles long, 3,000 descending. We open flight field on the left downwind, C1.
from here, I'm going to have to take control because it's going to get pretty crazy, okay? You did awesome. Really, really good. Those turns were unbelievable for a first-timer.
Approaching altitude.
Your hand gets sore, doesn't it?
Edenvale traffic, Kilo Zulu Bravo is rolling 3-1.
So soon I'm just going to turn off in that direction for a bit.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankees, turning mid-left downwind, 3-1, full stop.
And Edenvale traffic, Skyline 1, overhead the field, we'll be joining the left down with C1 with the traffic. Number 2.
So there's another plane directly behind us somewhere following the same procedure. I don't see him yet, but he said he's over top of the airport at the same... Oh, there he is. There's one guy taking off and there's another guy following the same procedure we're doing. Alright, so here's the fun part, the landing part. It might get a little bumpy on our way down there. The closer we get to the ground, the bumpier it's going to be.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankees, turning left base, 3-1, full stop.
Edenvale traffic, Skyline 1, turning mid left down, C1.
Alright, I'm just slowing the plane down. I'm going to pull this lever down here called flaps. There we go.
Leaving altitude.
Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankees, turning final, 3-1, full stop.
So this is what they call final approach. Right now our engine is pretty much doing nothing. I have it pretty much shut off. We're just gliding down.
Edenvale traffic, Skyline 1, turning
Right now I'm going to add a little bit of power. Yeah, we're crooked. Plane's flying a bit crooked. That's just because of the winds.
Are the winds worse when you're closer to the ground?
Not necessarily, but you have to be ready for them when you're coming into land, because eventually I'm going to have to straighten this plane out perfectly down the runway before the wheels touch. Power is totally off. We're just gliding. Now dealing with the winds.
Edenvale traffic, Skyline 1, turning final, C1 with the traffic.
Simple as that. I'm just going to roll down to the end of this runway and get off on the other one. So how was that? You did really well. Some of those turns were unbelievable.
And Edenvale traffic, Juliet Kilo Yankee is clear of active 3-1, backtracking 2-6 to the apron.
There's the other guy coming in right behind us there, the skydive guy. So what do you think? You're going to try doing this someday? Nice.
And Edenvale traffic, Sky 1 on the taxiway, Delta to hangar.
She is warm in here.
And Edenvale traffic, Sky 1 with the traffic inside will cross runway 26 to hangar.
There he is. Park it like a car. Get it out of the sun.
Engine speed.
Beautiful.
Oil.